Alright guys, I think it's my first live video in almost 5 or 6 years. I've done one many moons ago, but the quality was super bad. And finally, I'm at a point where I can do live videos with better quality. So I think I'm gonna wait for a few more people to jump onto the chat. Previous time we had a few guys. And if you check the previous video that I did, I actually made a video where I showed you how you can take off your chain without using the tool. Well, this tool. When I did that, this little bushing came out of the chain. So I have to put this back real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the chain real quick. The bike's right next to me, and I'll show you guys how we put this back in. And then there's a few things I need to do. I need to set my gears a bit. And I'm going to show you guys the bicycle that I got as a gift. Very nice gift. There's a few bolts and so on the crank that shouldn't be there, so we'll change that. And yeah, if there's any questions or any comments, please pop it in, and then we'll take it from there. I see Michael's on. Michael, how are you? He's our first person into the stream, so let's hope they jump a few more on. Let me grab the chain real quick, and then we can take it from there. Let me move you guys. I'm pretty sure we can do this. So let me show you how easy it is to actually do it with the right tool. So I'm just going to look for the chain link real quick. There it is. I'm going to take it down to the bottom. And let me show you how easy this actually is with the tool. All right, so there's the link. And you can literally do this with one hand. And that's how easy it is. Obviously you don't want it to jump out, so you're just going to release it like that. And that's how easy it is. So here's the chain, the part that the little bushing came out. You guys can see there. So let me grab it real quick, and then let's fix it. Put you down again. I'll grab the chain real quick. Alright, here we go. So let's see what happened here. As you can see there, the old chain split at the end. So let's see if we can get this back in. Now this doesn't necessarily mean that the chain is shot, but it does mean that I'll have to replace it pretty soon. Because if those things are starting to fall out, then it probably won't last too long. Let's put that in there. Alright, we can put the chain back on, and then we'll do the gears real quick. Move you guys so you can see what I'm doing here. So there's the bike. Quite a nice little gift that I got. So the chain goes over the chain ring. Make sure if you have a directional chain that you put it on the right way. So the chain goes over that way. There we go, like that. Over the cassette at the back. Run it through. Over the rail pulley. Actually feels funny because I've done this such a long time ago. Almost feels like I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. That's over. Put it through there. Right through. Bottom. Let's get our link sorted. There we go. There's the link in. And I turn it to the top. And this is just to have it set real quick. And that's how easy it is to put the chain back on. Now, obviously, like I said, this is quite an old chain. Well, not old, it is quite worn. So I'll have to replace it at one point. Let's go there. There we go, we've got another person online. How's it, guys? Let's do this real quick. So I've been struggling with my gears a bit, and I thought let me just grab you guys, let's do a video real quick. So what I've done is I've set the lowers and the highs on the stoppers. I've made a video on that as well, just a short, you guys can have a look at that. I've checked the B screw. So what the B screw does is that aligns your derailleur up or down and bringing it closer or further away to the gears, obviously making it a bit more crisp, maybe slowing it down a bit. But let's see, I've played around with it a bit and let's see if it's better. Oh, that's so much better. Let's give it a bit more tension on the cable. So obviously when it doesn't, not obviously, when it doesn't want to shift up, we give it a bit more tension. So in other words, we turn out the tension screw at the derailleur or at the shifter, depending on where it sits. If it doesn't want to come down, then we usually play around with the tension to lower it a bit. That's if your hanger is not bent. So in this case, the hanger is perfectly straight. Give it a little bit more tension. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's good. I think that's running actually very, very nice. Now the bike does need a bit of a service, the pre-up body, all those things. The derailleur pulleys need a bit of a service, but I think that's actually pretty smooth. Now the main thing I do want to chat about is the fact that, like I said, I got this bike as a gift from a friend, and it's a very, very nice bike. It's a single bike. It's got 1x11 group set on there. It does have some Ks on there, but there's a few things that needs to be done to get it perfect. And let me show you this one thing. And I think if we can get that out and sort it out, this bike will actually be quite nice. Let me show you this. So if you guys can see there's a bolt on there. And then there's a bolt through the crank that we'll have to replace. And then there's a lot of play. There we go. You can see there. Look how it moves. That we need to sort out as well. Now this friend of mine that gave me this bike, he actually phoned me and said, listen bud, I've got a few issues on the bike, I need to get it sorted. And unfortunately he's 500 kilometers away from me, so he had to do it at the store. So I don't know if they spaced it out correctly, but that's something I can definitely sort out. Now the one thing I want to ask you guys, maybe you can just throw a like or something in the chat. I see there's a lot of other guys on here. Vicky's on, Michael's on. Guys, I think what I've got, and maybe I'll go show you guys real quick. I'm not going to call it a little windy house or something, but it's a small little building built outside our home where you usually put your garage tools or your, there we go, Aquanda in the house. How's it? And there we go, hit the likes guys, there we go. Let me see everyone on the chat here, there we go. That's it, everyone's smiling. It's a lot more people than I expected, so I'm very, very happy actually. Maybe I must go show you guys this. So it's actually where you put your lawnmower and your garden tools and so on. But it's quite big. It's about, if I must take a guess, around 3 meters by 3 meters, which is quite big. And I thought maybe I should make it my little new workshop. We all have that dream of having a new workshop again. And if you're an OG of the channel, you know I had a massive cycling store, actually a few of them. And there I had everything I wanted. So I'm at the point where I have to start servicing bikes again. You won't believe I'm in a different town and the people already found me and they asked me to service the bikes. So I'll definitely do that, start servicing the bikes again, but I need to make sure that I've got the correct workspace. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to certain things, and I don't want to struggle when I start servicing bikes. So maybe if you guys are up for the walk, it's going to be a bit of a shake, but let's go check it out. Let me go show you guys real quick. I'll try not to move the camera too much. So let me go show you guys. Let me go there. Let's go have a look at what can be the new workspace. So let's have a look. Let's go check there. We have some friends along. Hello. Hello. All right, let's go have a look. They'll probably bark now because there's people moving around. So let's go have a look at this real quick. I think it might work. Like I said, it is a lot bigger than it looks. I'll just have to throw in an aircon or something. few lights because it's quite dark in here. So let's check this real quick. Let's have a look. So it's rough, please don't judge, because when we moved here, I just threw everything in here. It was a bit tight here, but when you start looking for things, then you know you throw everything out. So this is what we've got. Actually quite a nice little, let's call it a shed. And at this moment, all the garden tools are in here. So I was thinking maybe get the tools up against that wall again. There's my metal table that I've been using. Put up the wheel alignment set. Make sure I've got all the tools hanging. It's just to drill into these walls are crazy. These precast walls, they are very, very strong. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll put a frame. Yeah, maybe I'll put a frame on the table. If you guys have some ideas, maybe just leave it in the chat. I'll have a look at that. Maybe I'll build a frame for the table. Then I can put my toolboard, which is still here. I've got all these things still, which definitely can work. I've got shelves, and obviously I've got the tools, and there's all trust you, the workbench. And I think I must start. Maybe I'll do a live video of that, take you guys through the process, and we can have some fun building this. But I think if I can get this sorted, I'll 100% get back into strong vlogging while working on bikes, because that was obviously a lot of the reason that a lot of you tuned into the channel. And what I can do now is what I couldn't do in the past. I can show you guys exactly what you need to do. I can pinpoint every problem. I can show you guys how to fix it. We can take things step by step. I've had a few requests on videos that I can help with, and I'll definitely do that, because obviously that's the reason of this channel, is to show you guys how we fix certain things. So that's the high and the low of this video I started. I just thought I'll have to get into it, see the quality of the lives, because the previous time I had to do it on my laptop, and that was crazy. The quality wasn't that good. So yeah, guys, I thought, let me jump on here. Maybe give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about the shed. Should we get into that? Should we make it a nice workspace? And build it from the top down. I think if we can build a nice shed there, we can definitely do requests on videos. I've had it in the past, how to do a Fox shock service, or specific on gears, because that's one of the things we struggle most of the times, is how to set your gears, and then what is the B screw. And I know I've made videos on that, but you don't pinpoint the issue exactly. So guys, I think let's do this. This is the start of something great. I've got a buddy, you will see him in the chats as well, Michael. We are both supporting each other on our YouTube journeys. Go check out his channel as well, very interesting. Let's grow this thing. Let's make sure I can do this for quite a while, and maybe one day do this as a job, because I still do have a full-time job. So let's see if we can do this, grow the channel, guys. And then, as always, and as I said, be strong, stay safe, and never say never. Cheers.